The other day I got to hear Camisha Miller speak on the campus of UW-Whitwewater. She's a graduate of the university, graduated in 3.5 years. Of course, at some points that meant 26 credits in a semester, almost 2 semesters at once, which is kind of crazy. She talked about her impressive career in sports PR and in nonprofits, how she runs her own company, High Flyers Communications and PR. They do things like grant writing, media relations, and event planning, all those sorts of things. She shared all of her experiences from in college all the way through to what she's doing today. She talked about what it takes to come out of a university in 3.5 years with the flying colors that she did. She talked about her unpaid internship coming out of college with the Gum Out Racing Series, how she spun that experience working in racing into landing her a position with PBR, Professional Bull Riders.
We sit down, very first question he asked me is, what do you know about our organization? I looked at him, I said, well, I don't. I said, I don't know much about your organization. All I know is that you have bulls, people ride them, I think. They stay on, they get hurt. That's about all I know. And he's like, okay, and I said, but I do know this. I said, if you take a chance on me, you won't regret it. And I said, I'm heavy into racing, and I think the two business plans are identical. And I think they're a good cross market, and I think if you bring me, I can bring that, and we can meet in the middle. So our interview lasted. I walk out there, and I'm walking on back to my hotel. I get a phone call from his assistant and says, so when can you start? And I thought, don't you have anybody else to talk to? Nope, he wants you. I'm like, okay, I can start in 2 weeks.
She talked about how she ended up back in racing and then in nonprofits, working with the Girl Scouts. She talked all the way up through the starting of her company, High Flyers Communication and PR. On top of running the company, she's also going to be starting work with Habitat for Humanity, which is huge. Way to go, Camisha. Congratulations. The things that really stood out when Camisha came to speak were some of the common themes, the things that really made Camisha who she is. She's always been a person to put herself out there, take chances, seek opportunity, make herself attractive for opportunity to find her, not a person to say no. Going from the racing PR into the bull riding, and then from sports into nonprofits, not necessarily the most smooth transitions or seamless transitions, but Camisha is willing to learn on the fly, do what it takes to be successful in those different arenas.
One thing I wasn't so sure on was, how am I going to raise money? Because I came from organizations, we don't raise money. It just doesn't happen. People write checks and they put their logo on things, and that's how it works. Okay, great. So I get the job. Our chair of our brunch, we have an annual brunch. It's our one and only fundraiser at that time. We've always raised $32,000. We need to raise $50,000 this year. I'm like, okay. And we did. We raised $50,000 the next 2 years.
Something to be respected and something to be admired, if you ask me. On top of all these things, she's not just an accomplished professional. She's also a business owner, a mother, a wife, a daughter. Her and her husband own their own sprint car team.
But if I can tell you anything about time management, it is this. One is that you have to be able to budget your time. And what I mean is you have to kind of multitask. You've got to be able to multitask, especially in today's world where somebody's going to come to you and say, hi, I need this press release written, and it's got to be out by the end of the day. And somebody else comes to you and says, I need you to critique this and edit this, and it's got to go out by the end of the day. You've got to be able to prioritize, and you've got to be able to give yourself time. Do I eat a lot on the go? Probably. And my daughter, she gets to come to a lot of things with me, but I've arranged that to happen. I've put myself in the position now where she can come to the races and be a part of that. She loves that. She can come and be a part of my dance team, and she can do that. But you've got to be able to make sacrifices, because If your boss comes to you and says, I need this by the end of the day, and you're going to meet somebody at 5 o'clock for a drink, or you're going to, do something, not going to happen.
She's got all these things going on. She's incredibly involved in all these aspects of her life and stays incredibly dedicated to all of them. So that in itself is something to be honored and respected. I'd like to thank Camisha for coming to speak at the university. Your story is definitely inspiring. It's always great to see somebody find success, especially when there's somebody who's putting themselves out there, chasing down opportunity, and doing it with the passion that you obviously have for the work that you do. So thanks again for coming. I wish you the best in the future. For those of you watching, if you got to see Camisha speak or have something to share, be sure to leave it in the comments, or have something to share about another individual or professional who's inspired you to chase down your professional goals and aspirations. Be sure to share that as well. I'm Brendan, and until next time, thanks for watching.
Is everybody going to walk out of college and get awesome, exciting jobs that I've been blessed enough to have? Yes. I tell everybody, yeah, you can. You've got a network. Take internships that don't pay. Start networking. Stay in contact with people that speak to your class. Stay in contact with your professors. Get to know people on campus. Join organizations. I still was in PRSSA, never missed a meeting and had 26 credits.